This podcast may contain paid advertisements, but more on that later. Welcome to the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast, your go-to resource for unraveling the intricacies of business and leadership, honing in on the essence of bootstrapping a business from scratch. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur, a dedicated bootstrapper, or a leader navigating life's various challenges, this podcast is crafted just for you. I'm Isaiah O'Connor, your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, and my mission is to guide you towards personal and professional growth. Let's embark on this journey together. Now, with new episodes dropping weekly, I want to welcome you to the Remastered series, your chance to catch up on the journey so far. Here's one from the archives I think you'll enjoy. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to actually just be going on a series introduction to a series of podcasts I'm going to be doing. And this series is going to be titled, What's Holding You Back? And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to explore several of the different things that can hold us back in our careers, in our business, in our startups, and in our life. Now, I'm going to be talking about the mindset things that hold us back, not so much the physical things that hold us back. Physical things are a lot easier to deal with. You can see them, you can make a plan, you can attack them, and you can get them out of your way one way, shape, or form. For example, lack of money, you can go find funding. Lack of a license of some sort, you can go get your license. The problem with your car, you can fix it. Yeah, there are problems, but they're physical, they're easy to face and take down. What type of things am I going to be talking about? Well, these are the things that we often struggle with on a daily basis. Things like fear, pride, sense of victimhood, falling into a comfort zone, being a perfectionist, or you give into things like greed, envy, or laziness. Now, these are fairly hard to overcome for several reasons. One reason is we grew up with some of these things. They're part of our worldview. We were taught these things in our formative years, and they become so much entrenched in us that change is both hard and painful. As the saying goes, old habits die hard. Now, this is especially true when the change is something that goes against the culture that you grew up in. Now, people may be very well-meaning, but if you decide to do something that goes against the flow, against what everyone else thinks is right for your life, they can give you a hard time about it, all well-meaning. Now, as a great example, as we all know as bootstrappers, entrepreneurs, when you decide to not go to the normal route of going to a college, getting a degree, finding a job at a steady company, collecting a paycheck, and retiring, when you decide to buck that system, yeah, maybe go to college and get a degree, but instead of going off and finding a job, you create your own job, you create your own gig, well, you will find that there will be a lot of people worried about you. Your best friends and family will be worried about how you're going to survive, how you're going to pay the bills, and why can't you just get a real job? Everybody else. Now, this pushback is all done in love. They really do care. They're not usually trying to just be mean, but they're just worried because you're not doing what everyone is told needs to be done to be successful in life. So it's really hard to deal with because it comes from a place of love and caring. Other things are so shameful that you don't want to admit to anyone, even yourself, that you deal with them. This is especially hard for businessmen and entrepreneurs, as we know that for our clients, we need to appear to be fully in control and professional at all times. We also don't want to show any weakness to our competitors. this can cause us to try to cover up our failures instead of dealing with them. And now a few of them are hard to overcome because they are a double-edged sword. They're both something that you may need and can be a positive thing, but if it's used incorrectly or too much, it can cause great harm. For example, fear. Now, being fearless is often seen as a good thing, but if you have a small child and they are fearless, you'll quickly learn that no fear means a lot of trips to the emergency room. So there is a need to be able to sense danger and to have the feeling of fear to trigger, oh, whoops, we gotta be careful here. But you can't let it take over, and you can't take unnecessary risk either. So fear is one of those things that it has a good part to it, but you can't let it paralyze you either. Now, then there's our personality traits. Things that we just seem to have an affinity to. Things like perfectionism. Now, this is often a character trait. It drives you crazy if things are not just so. And while it can be very useful because it leads you to produce a great product for the customer, it can also lead to a full stop when it comes to growth. A lot of time is wasted in perfectionism. I know from personal experience. Time that could be used to do other things that cause growth. And lastly, a lot of us are driven by our emotions, especially the emotion of fear. These can come unbidden, and if not faced, have the ability to paralyze us. And this takes us out from being able to grow ourselves and our business. You need to be able to master your emotions, and that doesn't mean to cut them all off and become cold as ice and just a robot. You need your emotions. They're what drive us. They give you the passion and the energy to go forward and push through. They are what drives us forward, but the problem is if you let them drive too much, they can drive you right off a cliff. Now this is most likely to happen during times of stress, exhaustion, and other things are going on and excitement as well, where you can get so excited you kind of run a little crazy. But the trick is to learn how to control them. Feel them, let it be there, but let your excitement drive you. Let your stress help you focus on what you need to get out of the stress, etc. As I wrap up, I'm going to talk about the reason I started this series. It's because I've seen a lot of people struggle with these things, and it's held them back from starting a business or growing their business, expanding. And I've seen a lot of people just completely lose everything because of one or more of these things, all in combination, just destroys them. And it's just painful to watch. Now, I really want to help you guys through this because each one of these are so big, so intense, and can be so destructive that they each deserve an entire podcast dedicated to them. And some of these have had whole books written dealing with these very issues. So this is a big journey I'm taking you guys on, so come along with me. Let's check it out. And we'll start with the biggest one, the one that interconnects with most of these, if not all of them, in some way, shape, or form, and is a core driving force for slowing you down, and that is fear. Fear is a major one. It holds you back in the most different ways, in the most insidious ways possible. So the next episode, I'm going to talk about fear and really try to drill deep and tackle fear and try to figure out how to fight against it. Until next time, I've been your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor. If today's episode added value to your day, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment and consider giving us a stellar 5-star rating on your favorite podcast platform. Whether it's Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, or more. And remember, if you leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcast, I will personally read it out in the next episode. To support the show, you can make a one-time gift by buying us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/bootstrap, donate through PayPal at paypal.me/IOCPOD, or make a contribution on our Patreon page at patreon.com/IOCPOD. Your support keeps the episodes coming. For even more content and exclusive perks, join our Patreon community at patreon.com/IOCPod. Patrons enjoy ad-free episodes, access to our private Discord server, early content previews, and a lot more. And here's an exciting offer. Get your free trial of our $5 a month Bootstrap Community Explorer tier. This exclusive tier grants you ad-free content, Discord server access, and early content previews. Join us and be part of the inner circle. If you're feeling more generous, those who join tiers $25 a month and up will have a chance to be a featured guest on this podcast. A massive thank you to Wintergotten for generously providing the incredible intro and outro music at no cost. We appreciate their support. Be sure to check out Wintergotten's amazing work on YouTube at youtube.com/@Wintergotten. Until next time, I'm your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor, signing off. This is the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast, brought to you by Athos Business Solutions. For our companion podcast, the Athos Business Podcast, hosted by Jason St. Clair, along with past episodes and related blogs, visit our website at athos.com. That's ATHEOZ.com or theoz.com. Goodbye for now.